Another Promote Your Post session here on the WellShare server. It's Thursday night. Good to see you all here. My word, we've had a bit of drama this week, haven't we? No denying it, really. But there we go. Things happen. I'm pleased to say things are settling down now, which is nice. I've had a few DMs about this, guys, but I'm afraid I can't really answer them. I'm not involved in it, and I'm not a member of admin. But things are settling down anyway, and that's good to know. And more importantly, shows like this continue, and of course, even more importantly, the projects that we're all working towards continue and will be delivered. And there is tons and tons of things to be excited about, I can tell you, which kind of brings me on to one of the projects that the WellShares community is involved in, and that is the EasyDex project. And the master of that is with me this evening. It is indeed Warus, and I'm going to hand over to him in just a moment, and he's going to tell you guys more about that and the new EasyDex token that is being released. I think it's been released. It has been released. So he's going to tell you more about that, because that is very interesting indeed. Very exciting stuff. But yes, here we are again. Jamie Honey, thank you very much for reminding me, but I'm not going to be able to do a mic test and go through it all like we did that time tonight. There's just too much to fit in. But guys, please, I do hope you've done your mic tests, because it is very annoying to get to you when it's time for presentation and your mic doesn't work. But there we go. Let's see how it goes. Good to see Louis Fachav here. Haven't seen him for a while. I really hope he's got a musical interlude for us. Louis, I really hope you have. We could do with a bit of music. So I'm hoping he might have, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Right then, I think I said everything. I'm not going to run through the rules. I will do that when we begin. One thing I do need to mention to you guys is that this show is simultaneously being broadcast on YouTube. So just to let you guys know that as well. And there's the link should you want to check it out. Yeah, Papix has put it up there. It's awesome. So yeah, it is being broadcast on YouTube as well. So it is good to, if Akrid could just mute his mic. Thank you, Akrid. So yes, there's the link there if you need that. And I think, oh yes, and Powerpix, he's not giving out Beyond Bit upvotes to everybody tonight, but he will be giving out selective Beyond Bit upvotes to posts that are meritorious, shall we say. So that's decent of him. And I think that's it for now. So what I'm going to do is hand over to Warus. He's going to tell you guys more about EasyDex and the new EasyDex token. Warus, are you there?
I'm here.
How are you, sir?
So, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'll give it over to you. Oh, you've gone silent. You still there? And Sweeney guy noted. Always the way, always the way. We got the first bit out of you, Walrus, but we didn't then hear anything else. Are you doing a refresh? Are you coming back? What's going on?
All right, I think it fixed now.
Awesome, we can hear you. Over to you.
Okay, so for those of you who aren't familiar with the EasyDex project, it actually started because of WellShares, and when we first started WellShares, we were first sending everybody to Open Ledger, and we quickly became the unofficial Open Ledger customer service. And there were so many problems that we didn't have the power to fix, so we just decided, well, why don't we build our own DEX, because I could easily solve these problems. So that's what we did. So we launched about 3 weeks ago our beta phase, and we're the first ones to bring account recovery to BitShares, and we have the only working fiat bridge on BitShares right now.
Awesome. I think there's some other good stuff about the EasyDex project, isn't there?
Oh yeah, there's lots more. We're integrating with a lot of new chains that are coming out to bring the BitShares functionality to the WellShares chain, to Smoke Network, and several others that haven't announced themselves yet.
And tell us a bit more about how this intends to sort of interact with the new WellShares deck, the new WellShares platform.
Well, part of it will have to do with the account creation and everything. And then we'll have the decks right there on the site, so you'll be able to trade your earnings directly for fiat or whatever crypto you want right there on the site without having to go anywhere.
Very nice. I understand there's also a password recovery service. Is that right?
Yes, we have a password recovery service that's active now. Right now, you have to create an account through us to use the password recovery, but we have the tool built. We just haven't updated the site yet. But we have the tool built because we're doing a lot of changes right now. But we have the tool built where you can take existing accounts and store the encrypted version of your password in our databases too. So we'll have the account recovery for existing accounts very soon too.
Nice, very nice. And tell us a little bit more about the portfolio builder token that you're launching. And I understand you're giving some out this evening. Is that right?
That's true. The portfolio builder token is wanted to create a way where people could just hold one token and build a nice portfolio. So every asset that we're going to run a gateway for, every crypto asset that we're going to run a gateway for, we're going to share drop half the market fees on portfolio builder token holders. So you'll be able to collect, we already have plans for Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Zcash, Monero, and a whole host of others that I don't have the full list in front of me or anything.
Wow. Yeah, that is exciting. So basically, you can get additional cryptocurrency from any bridge that EasyDex offers in some kind of share drop. Is that right?
That's true.
Very nice. Okay. And what else? Anything else you want to say about EasyDex?
Oh, yeah. Well, one of the things I wanted to get on tonight to talk about was because we've been in pre-sale on the portfolio builder tokens, and that's still going on. So you can get portfolio builder tokens on the it's easydex.pb on the Dex. I'll put a link in just a minute. So those are available now, but starting next week, we will be doing an EOS style campaign where users can input however much they have for that day, and then at the end of the day, we'll share drop a certain number of tokens per day. And the way we were going to do that, we were going to start out with I think 500 tokens per day, and then the next week do 1,000 per day, and keep building it from there as we go.
Very nice indeed. And when is this starting, did you say?
That's starting next week, I think Monday. I'll be announcing it tonight or tomorrow.
And then, so in order for people to participate, what is it they've got to do?
We're going to create a specific account for it, and you just send the tokens to that account, just BitShares, BTS tokens to it. And then at the end of the day, we'll take all however many BitShares we pulled in that day. We'll divide the number of tokens we're distributing that day by the number of BitShares we took in that day. And then for each BitShare, you'll get that many tokens.
Awesome. Amazing stuff. So you're going to put up a post about this at some stage, is that right?
Yeah, probably tonight or tomorrow.
Fantastic. Okay. I think PRFM says, Walrus, will we get every coins listed on EasyDex?
Every coins? I'm not familiar with every coins, but that's something we probably could do.
I don't know if that was a generic term for every coin or whether that's a coin in itself. I don't know. He's just typing. I'll let him clarify. Is every coin's a coin? I don't know if that's a token in itself or not. Hurry up, PRFM, type it up. Jesus. He's still typing. Like the share drops from an all coin transaction. I still don't know if that clarifies it for you, Boris.
I think so, yeah. So like once a week, all the market fees we've collected from all the coins that we have a gateway for, half of the market fees get share dropped on token holders.
Wow, that is really exciting. I mean, it's kind of, I read somewhere, it's kind of a good way to maybe, or a good tool to diversify your portfolio. Is that right?
Yeah, that was the idea, is that you could just hold this one token and you'll get a wide variety of tokens. And one of the things we're trying to do with EasyDex is since you'll be able to trade any token for any other asset on BitShares, might help kind of decouple it from Bitcoin, because right now you always have to trade for Bitcoin and then get whatever tokens. But since we can now, especially with the fiat gateways, so now you'll be able to trade, say you want Monero, you'll be able to get Monero directly for your fiats, and that should help decouple a lot of the other cryptos in the space from Bitcoin. And so we're hoping that when that happens, that these portfolio builder tokens should help stabilize your portfolio, so that if one token goes up, if one token goes down, then another token will go up instead. So to try to help retain the value of your portfolio there too.
Oh, wow, that is going to be very beneficial, that decoupling. That's, yeah, that is going to be very useful indeed. And is that kind of exclusive then to EasyDex?
As far as I know, we're the only ones that offer this.
Awesome. Fantastic. Wow. Amazing exchange, guys. I have put the link up. You might want to set up your account and just put it up again. I just set up mine recently, and even straight away, the aesthetics, gosh, they really speak to me. It's a nice exchange. Can't wait to start using it. Okay, awesome. Anything else you want to say, Boris?
Yeah, I was going to say, so everybody who's here in the Discord, I'll put a link to our Discord. And if you join that and put your BitShares username, we'll send everybody who does that 5 portfolio builder tokens for joining today.
Woohoo, there you go. So what I'm going to do first, Boris, is just put a link up to what I thought was quite a good write-up, actually. I learned quite a lot about the EasyDex platform, and I'm going to put a link to that post. It was written by, who was it? Chief Maps, I think. Yeah, and it was a great, fantastic write-up, guys. If you want some information, check that one out. I actually re-steamed it. I thought it was that good, but tons of useful stuff in there if you want some more information. Boris is going to put a link up to the server. There it is. There's the EasyDex server. And if you DM him your BitShares username, he's going to give you 5 EasyDex tokens.
No, put it in the, don't DM me, because that'll be, do it in the EasyDex general channel.
But you don't have to create a new account, right? You can just use your old one, no?
Yes, you can log in with your existing BitShares account.
Great.
So just to clarify, don't DM him. Just message him in the EasyDex server. So join that, message him, get some EasyDex tokens, and start looking around EasyDex. Fantastic platform. Good stuff. Tons of exciting stuff coming there with EasyDex. Really looking forward to that. So click on the link there and join the Discord server, the EasyDex Discord server, and get your tokens. Do not DM him. Right. Anything else before I move on, Boris?
That's all I can think of at the moment.
Okay, guys. Well, Boris is going to hang around for a bit longer. If you've got any questions, put them up in the chat, and he will answer them throughout the show. I don't normally want general discussion, but clearly something as important as this to everyone, no problem at all. So he's going to hang around for a bit. So just any questions at all about EZDEX, put them up in the chat, and he will get round to answering them. And I think that means we are going to begin the show. And as always, I'm just going to quickly run through the three main rules. And the rule number one is, of course, if you're presenting at the beginning, make sure you stay on to give out votes to others. Some people do tend to just put up their post and then they run away. I'd appreciate it if you guys didn't do that, because this show is about sharing the love. So if you get votes, please do give out some votes. Secondly, if you do present a post, don't forget to DM me your BitShares username before you leave the show, because I need to get you all some well shares. So for those of you that do present, make sure you DM me your BitShares username before you leave the show, and I will ask for that later on in the show. And thirdly, please make sure that you keep the chat to discussion about posts or topics related to the posts, except, of course, any discussion about EZDEX is acceptable. But it's fair we only respect the presenters who are presenting their posts. So I think that is it. And there is one more important thing. And it is, of course, this post. My post, the most important post you'll see in the entire show. Give me some love, baby, because it's nice to get a few votes on my, give out lots of votes. It'd be nice if you could show some appreciation on my post. So I'd really recommended it. I really would appreciate it. Crystal, you're right. I remembered it. I know. I couldn't forget it. I had to remember lots tonight, so I've done very well to remember it. But there it is. Thank you, guys. Okay, right. Finally, I'm going to begin the show. And up first is Louis Fachav. Louis Fachav, are you there? I haven't seen you for a while.
Oh, wait. Right away? Nice. Hang on.
If you want.
Yeah. I'm not used to being the first, but it's great. That's my post.
Yep, tell us about your post, Louis, then.
Okay, you've been asking for a while now for me to share some more music, so I finally managed to write a new song and make an open mic entry, so this is the one. I made this with a looper, and it took me a long while to make it, so I'm really happy to be able to share it.
Tell us about a looper, can you?
Oh yeah, sure. It's a little gadget that you connect a mic to, and you can connect a guitar also, and you can play something, hit a button, and it's gonna record that, and it's gonna repeat it over itself. So you can build something really big just with your guitar and your voice. That way you can sort of mimic being more than one person playing instruments.
Okay.
And I did this. It's taken me a while to learn how to use it well, but now I can sort of create stuff with it. And if you take a listen to the song that I shared, you're gonna see that I record stuff and then it starts sounding by itself while I record other stuff. It's really fun, and it's a way to, as I said, mimic playing more things than one person can at the same time. Actually, if you guys, if you want, I can maybe later play that song without the looper, because I don't have it connected right now, but I can play it without the looper for that musical interlude that you wanted.
Ah, yes. So maybe I should have asked you later on. Do you know what? What we'll have then, a little later on the show, is that musical interlude, but not straight away. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. I'll be here.
Tell a bit more about, what inspired the song.
Really, it's been really difficult for me to insult a lot. You know how art their feelings and share stuff that really matters to them. That me. But But with this, I think this is chip where I found myself just listening to stuff my ex-girlfriend had to say, and finding that whatever I said didn't mean anything to her, and that's pretty much what the song's about.
Oh, okay.
It really weighed on me.
Yeah, so a little bit melancholy, maybe.
Yes. Actually, I showed it to my mother, and she can't understand English, and she said to me, it was really funny. She said to me that it sounded like it wanted to make her cry, which is funny.
Oh, well, that's the sign of quite a powerful song, then.
Yeah, that I feel that way, which is why I'm really happy to share it, because I've been on a little bit of a dry spell lately, writing songs and music for it's been difficult lately, but I've been doing a lot of other stuff with my 2 bands, and now I finally managed to do this, so I'm really, really happy.
Oh, well done. I'm glad you've managed to construct another song. I think your music is amazing, and I'm looking forward to hearing this later on in the show. So will you link everything up for a little later on, yeah?
Yes. Actually, I already did it. It's everything's ready right now. So whenever you want, everything's ready.
All right, okay. Well, we'll just have a few more posts, and then we'll come back for a musical interlude. I don't want it straight away. I want a bit of a build-up. Is that all right?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Okay, guys, any comments or questions for Louis? And anything? Oh, JS, no. Anything else you want to say?
I actually do have a question. Excuse me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I'm an engineer as well. So what looper do you use, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm using DC Helicon's Voice Live Touch 2.
Okay, I'm familiar.
Yeah, as you know, that one is more singers. It's meant more for singers than for other people, because that way you can have your hands free and you can use it with your hands also.
Yeah, my father is a DJ. He goes around and he gigs in my area, and he uses it while he's spinning tracks for weddings and stuff. So it's a really good box, man. Expensive too.
It's a little expensive, yes, but the quality of sound that comes out of it, it makes it worth it for me.
Awesome stuff. Looking forward to hearing that later on in the show. Rico says supreme. My word. Looking forward to that. Right, don't go anywhere then, Louis. I'll come back to you in a bit, and we're going to have a musical interlude later on. Thank you very much. I'm going to put the link up to the post one more time, guys. There it is. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Get voting on it. Okay, going to move on. And up next, it is Yidnith. Are you there?
I'm here. I need to be quiet because I'm using headphones. Do I sound loud enough?
You sound fine, Yidnith. How are you?
A little bit tired. It's been, I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm already cuddled in blankets. But I'm going to post a link.
Oh, sorry to hear you're a little bit under the weather. I hope you're doing all right. What, you're wrapped in blankets? Are you cold, or you got a bit of a cold?
The spring here, just like one day is hot, one day is cold. Even they, I went to the park and they have put knitwear to the trees. I'm not kidding. It's just like someone had knitted just like blankets for for the trees. It's just like sunny Spain. So I'm broadcasting from my phone, and it sort of just cuts and goes. So I hope it's fine. This is my song, my original song in my mind's eye. And the post not only shares the song, but also the artworks that I have done inspired by the song. And I have shared from concept to sketch, from pencil sketch to final drawing. So you can actually listen to the song and then listen to the background story that inspired the song. And it's a song that is everything is really in my mind's eye, and that everything can be read with the power of our imagination. But at the same time, it tries to tell everybody that that our thoughts are boundless, but also there's just like a second meaning to it, because it belongs to my illustrated music album, The End of Living. And as I mentioned maybe in posts before, The End of Living is just like a very spectral world that is besides the feature thoughts. So there's always ambiguity if you know that musings are maybe ours, or maybe are infused by these other creatures. It's just like a trapped. That's why I chose just like that. The girl is also trapped in his own mind's eye. And there I shared the lyrics, another illustration I made for the song, and then the work in progress that I used to do the final cover that you can see up there, and I drew myself.
Do you know, I love the way you've used different mediums, really, and you've made it quite an interactive journey to tell this. You say, look, first, listen to the song on Descend, so you can get an idea of what the rest of the post is about, which including the artwork and the background of the story. And it's kind of it really is a whole journey of narrative, isn't it? Using the written word, using music, and using some artwork.
For me, The End of Living, which I think it was one of my most ambitious projects, but it is also the father of my actual music album, which is Fear No More. I joined this limit actually because I wanted to fund it, to crowdfund it somehow, because to fund music is really complicated. And The End of Living was already a book, and it was a really expensive edition. And the thing is just like it's very much like the art and the music, they go together. Even the songs, they go together just like a musical. It's not a mainstream thing, but more like a soundtrack or something like that. So it has to have, it needs a story, because it's actually a soundtrack to a story. And now I just like I'm facing a while where I have to paint a lot again, and I hope to share more arts. But for me, the music and art always mingle together. And it begins as writing, and then music, and then doing the drawings for the music, very much like so.
That's interesting. So the artwork was kind of inspired by the music, because I'm just going through this post, and some of the drawings and the sketches are amazing. So that's interesting. So this is basically music-inspired artwork, yeah?
Yeah. They are born to sometimes the majority the post time I sort of write a story. So my movie, it's like
sorry to interrupt you. You're breaking up there. Any chance you could sort your mic out at all? And I'm laughing at that creature that Bushkill has just put in the chat. That's all.
So am I cutting still?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
So that's what I meant. That for me, everything is just like a movie, like a story that I wrote, and it has a movie, and it has imagery, and sometimes it inspires songs, and sometimes it inspires drawings, and sometimes they go together. And in this case, I think it's pretty clear in the article, the how it all mingled with each other. I included a SoundCloud as well, because I know that some people have problems streaming from this sound, and I wanted people to listen to the actual song while they went on reading. And nothing else. I hope you stop by and leave your feedback, and found it interesting enough to leave your mark there and post some feedback, which is really the most important thing to me.
Yes, you do often stress that, Yidnith, don't you? It's the feedback that you really, really value, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, any comments or questions for Yidnith? And anything you want to say lastly, Yidnith?
Just wishing Luis Verschap good luck in open mic. I wanted to say the last week, Sunday precisely, I presented my song for the open mic, and I just wanted to say I won it. I won the open mic this week, the week 83, and it was really encouraging, the feedback that I got in this program last Sunday. So my entry made it, and it's been really sweet. because I've only applied twice and I've made it twice, so I feel a little bit guilty, but it's just like newbie's luck. But the contest is really so full of talent. I'm wishing Luis Fairchild all the very best, because I just listened to it. You have a killing entry. I keep my body power and I'm from the phone, but I am bookmarking everything. So be sure you'll have my comment tomorrow there.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Yidnith. I'm going to put the link up to your post one more time. There it is, guys. Another amazing post from Yidnith. Thank you very much for that. Right. It is time to move on. And I'm up next. It is indeed Jamie Honey. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
How are you, Jamie?
I'm good. I'm good. Okay, I got my technical difficulties sorted out with which button to push so you can hear me and I can upload my post. I'm doing great. The wife is back from London, so we're back. There's no more bachelor boy in Vegas for 10 days. So, which is cool.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so no more cartoon manifestos happening on the TV while I eat pizza. Now it's back to salads and documentaries.
Bummer.
But this is the post. I came across a wonderful competition or motivational challenge. I think it was more so the competition. But I love motivational quotes. And so in this, it's by The Love Bug. And she said, just share a motivational quote that is uplifting for you, and then just put a little bit of information about why you like that quote. And as you remember my post last week, I was talking about how when we think about something, we actually physically affect the body. So I'm like, hey, this is fantastic. We've got something where people are searching for something that's uplifting and motivating for them, while at the same time they're improving the quality of their own life and health just through that intent. But so I also, in the post, went and created my own memes instead of just searching for some. And down at the bottom of the post, I shared how I do that, like the meme creator I use and where I get my free background images from Creative Commons so anyone can use it, and then challenged a few people to also share some memes that they like. And so what I really like is all the people responding that I've met through Steemit, like all over the world, responding back with me in my comments with memes. So one of the friends that I met at the Creators Conference here in Las Vegas, he does photography up at Lake Tahoe. So I'm like, hey, you got to use one of your own pictures as a background, which he did, actually of Lake Tahoe from a little tiny airplane that he flies in to get photos from. Well, he's not actually flying. That would be pretty phenomenal, flying and taking the photos. But yeah, so he's up there. And a few other people have said, I'm going to get onto this very soon and get back to you. So I like the fact that people are just sharing positivity and beautiful imagery at the same time. So that's the post, which I encourage everyone to do. Oh, and I also love the third meme that I've got there, and this too shall pass. I heard that as a story about a king who needed a magical saying that would always make him happy when things were tough. And the wizard, after weeks and weeks, created a ring, and on the inside of it was inscribed, and this too shall pass. And I remember that story as a kid, but I never knew where it came from. So I'm like, oh, I better try and find out where that came from if I'm going to throw it up in a blog post. And then I discovered it's actually from a Sufi poet from Persia, like way, way back was where the original elements of it started. So I thought, oh, that was interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a great contest, by the way. And your three entries are very interesting. I do like, I think out of the three you put, I think what resonates more with me is the change your habits, change your life. But also there is some kind of soothing philosophy in what Henry Ford said, in that whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That's an interesting one. What does that mean for you?
Well, first of all, I'm super glad you like change your habits, because that's my quote. That's one of the things I'm quoted for in my book. But whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you are going to prove yourself correct. You're going to be right. So if you believe you can't achieve a goal, you're going to prove yourself correct. If you believe you can achieve that goal, you're going to prove yourself correct. So it really talks about the conversation that you have in your mind, the ninja thought that's talking to you, saying whether you're capable of something or whether you're not. And so those people who have achieved greatness because they believed they could, and they didn't stop until they achieved their goal. Like, what was it, Edison with the 1,000 and 1,100 or something light bulbs?
Jamie, I guess though, with that one, even though I like it and it's inspiring, it might be a bit deceptive, because some people who might subscribe to that philosophy, who are so blatantly wrong, are telling themselves they're right, which could cause some problems.
Yes. Well, that's human nature. We all think we're right until we have enough substantial evidence and strength. I mean, that's where real strength and courage comes, I believe, when you're willing to look at yourself and find yourself wrong or in need of a change or in need of improvement. The battle within inside oneself is definitely an ongoing battle. But,
yes. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's weird. It's about getting some kind of balance here, because there's no point thinking you're right every time, even though you could be, though. You never know. You could be, but, you know, balance of probabilities, you're going to get something wrong.
And then, of course, like I always like to do, share a little joy at the end. I'm like a couple of little stories about how you catch a unique rabbit. You sneak up on him. And then how do you catch a tame rabbit? The tame way.
I think there was some sense there.
I love puns, which is going to be a post coming up.
Right, going to have to move on. But any comments or questions for Jamie Honey? Yes, he does crack himself up so bad. But if it works for him, why not? Hey, yeah, okay.
Well, awesome. Thanks for letting me share.
You're very welcome. I'm going to put the link to that post up one more time, because I think it's a great post, actually. So good contest as well. Very interesting. Nice. Get voting on it. Right, going to move on. Up next, Dorth. Dorth, are you there? Dorth, are you there?
Hello, I'm here. Good evening.
Hello, Dorth. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm very well.
Awesome. Have you got a post for us?
Yes, I have. I'm trying to copy it now. All right. Here it is.
Okay. Thank you. Talk to us about it.
All right. So this is a talk about a conservation center here in Lagos, Nigeria. I and some friends went out on the 1st of May just to have some nice time relaxing from it was a holiday. So we just took time to visit the center. Normally, the idea we have about the center is that we could do some canopy walks and all those things there. But I was surprised, although by the name, it's supposed to be a conservation center for animals and plants and all those things. But I was really fascinated by the life I met there, the monkeys I saw playing around, the tortoise, just having a free roll by themselves and just enjoying their life. And from the post, you can see that we really interacted with those animals, and then it was after playing with the animals, we went on walk. It was 45-30 minutes walk on the boardwalk where we have trees to the right and left and a swampy area, like the feeling of being in a forest. Normally, the city of Lagos is just like a congested town that you wouldn't even feel wildlife, you wouldn't feel, nature. But I was surprised I could get something like this around my town. Some Lagosians here will testify to what I'm talking about. So I just thought of having a record of this, and it was an amazing one.
Okay, you can now tell us about this picture in your post.
Yeah. This lady you're seeing here is actually the convener of the group I'm with, that we tour with. Yeah, Ada is her name, the explorer. So she's the one that organized the group, and she organizes these tours for us. And we go to different
But
places.
surely she's getting too close to the animals there, no?
Yeah, she was close. The animals were meeting actually. And she just thought she was just coming, and she just thought, oh, let me just.
But it's not for her to get involved in that, surely.
You see?
Surely she shouldn't be getting involved in that sort of activity, no?
No. She was just posting for a picture. She wasn't doing anything. She was just posting for a picture.
I'm only joking, Dorth. Carry on. Oh, Dorth. He's laughing so hard, he's gone. Dorth, are you there? Right.
Hello.
Yeah. Tell us a bit more about your post, because I have to say your post is fantastic. I'm just going through it. You've crammed it with tons of photos and videos. It's amazing.
Example, it's a different case. They weren't traumatized animals. They were just having their field day. And it was in a place in Lagos that is kind of congested. You probably would be surprised. I was very surprised I could see animals like that, playing freely and all those things. So
that's interesting, because it says it's the Lekki Conservation Centre in Lagos,
exactly,
Nigeria.
exactly.
So it's more than a zoo.
You said what?
It's more than a zoo, really.
Yeah. It's a conservation center. So they allow the animals roam and then have their field day, enjoy themselves, and interact with humans. Then it has the center has a canopy walk. It's like the longest canopy walk in Africa, where you could have some amazing. You could test your phobia for heights. Walking on if you read down the post, you see that I have somewhere documented that where you could walk in, great heights and just feel forget your height, your fear for heights. Although some of my friends couldn't climb because they were afraid of the heights.
Yeah, that rope bridge scares
exactly.
me.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think this is fantastic, because you really brought us close to the conservation area and all the animals that are there. I think it's a really given us a real sort of raw insight there. Fantastic post.
Thank you.
And when did you go there?
Yeah, that was last Sunday. Last May 1st, the 1st of May. May 1st was it Tuesday?
I don't know, but let's go with last week.
Okay.
Anyway.
Tuesday.
But is this conservation area open? Is this like a big tourist attraction?
Yes, it is.
I can imagine. It's stunning. I think it's amazing. Never heard of this, but I'm so pleased I have. And a fantastic post. Thank you for bringing it. But I do need to move on. So any comments or questions for Dorth? And is there anything you want to say lastly, Dorth?
Well, I'm really glad you guys loved it. I'm glad I had the opportunity of sharing the post before it attained its payout time, and I'm just happy. And it was a
No
nice
worries.
time with the monkeys.
you're
Nice time
very
with the
welcome.
monkeys.
It looks like you had a great time. But thank you very much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
There
Thanks
it
for
is.
having me.
You're welcome. There it is, guys. An amazing post from Dorth there. Give it some appreciation. Give it your vote. There it is. Put it up again. Thank you very much for that. Right, I'm going to have to move on, I'm afraid. And up next, it's Crystal Pacheco. Are you there, Crystal?
Hello.
Loud and clear. How are you?
Good, and yourself?
Very well, thank you.
Okay, surprise! It's a contest post. I'm doing your favorite TV show comment challenge, and by the picture you can tell mine's Doctor Who. I know, I can't. But I just want to know what everybody's favorite TV show is, and just comment away. I've already got some great ones, and I'm looking forward to what everybody watches, especially shows I've never heard before.
Oh, okay. Have you had anything interesting so far?
I saw Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I've seen all kinds of stuff already. Scuzzy has a pretty cool one, so I've been liking them so far.
Okay. And so why did you want to do this one? Because it kind of, it's a bit of a theme for you now. You've done books, you've done films. So this time was just TV, yeah?
Yeah, cause last show I said everybody let me know, and I got a lot of TV show requests, and people were like, "Well, do this genre," and I got so many genres, so I figured first I would just do a general, "What's your favorite TV show?" and then I'll kind of see what will be next, and I just like to make things fun. You know me, I like those easy contests. I like to get everybody hairy.
Yeah, I think it's a nice contest, this, I think it's going to draw in quite a lot of people, because let's be honest, how many of us haven't seen some TV content or another in our lifetime, although I watch less and less of it, thankfully, but there are certain things that still grab me, and I'm not a big TV watcher anymore, but there's always something. You'll probably find just one program at least on the schedules, isn't there?
Yeah, and I also put, because I couldn't just pick one, besides Doctor Who, I put Wives and Daughters. That was my one of my favorite BBC miniseries that I found. And, I really love BBC's period dramas, because the period dramas over here are always for, like, rated R audiences. So I like my PG-13 stuff.
Oh, that's interesting. My mum loves period dramas, but what is it about the BBC ones you like so much?
Well, I always feel there's more story, like they'll follow the books. Wives and Daughters is, based on a book, like Jane Austen, and it's around the same time period. Obviously, Elizabeth Gaskell is not that popular as Jane Austen, so I like how they retrieve their relationships and such, and they don't always try to, let's see how many times we can have naked scenes, pigs actually seeing the story, organic, and they don't just throw stuff to throw it in there.
Why not? Yeah, indeed. North and South, that rings a bell. Do you know much about North and South?
Yes, that was another BBC series. I really like that one too. I actually have the DVD, but I have to replace it because I've watched it so many times that it actually got a little scratched up because I watched it too much. So I have to replace that DVD. I love my DVD.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Good contest. Nice lot of prizes going on there. You're giving quite a few hair shares away.
Yeah, well, they're pretty cheap, so typically, like, if I don't have enough, because even if you don't win the first top 7 prizes, you'll get some participation reward. Even if last contest it was 20, I gave everybody that gave me their BitShares name, they got 20 hair shares no matter what.
Nice. Louis asks, are they cutting out for anyone else? I'm not quite sure. Do you know what he means by that?
I can hear you.
No, he's typing. He's typed, are they cutting out for anyone else? Oh, is he talking about people? Audio. Sorry, I thought it was a question for you. No, that's fine. Okay. Any other comments or questions at all for Crystal? And anything you want to say lastly, Crystal?
Thank you guys for entering the contest, and I look forward to all the fun entries.
Oh, Louis looks like he's going to enter. That'll be an interesting one. So look out for that one. Okay, cool. Let me just put the link up to your post one more time. And there it is, guys. Get voting on it. I do like that that cover image. That's interesting, actually. Just briefly talking about cover images. If I get a bit academic for a moment, you just saw that Dorth presented that amazing post, but the cover image was just a bit bland compared to some of the amazing photography in his post. Yeah, cover image can really do a lot, I think, for your post. I mean, looking at Crystal's one there, that's a really nice cover image. Grabs your attention straight away. Savo, you want to go for Shutterstock, you go for it. But each to their own. Anyway, I'm going to move on now, and I'm going to call the next presenter, which is Bushkill. Bushkill, are you there? Well, that should be BBQ Iguana. He's typing. I just saw him. What's going on? Now he's gone. There he is. Are you there? Oh, Bushy's being all mysterious. I like it. What's he doing? I'm loving anticipation. What's it going to be? Okay, I'm getting bored now. What the hell's he doing? Powerpix, I think you're right. I think he's manually typing. Yeah, the URL, or maybe it is a text presentation. I'm not sure what's going on. But Bushy, can you talk to us or type something? Oh, he's trying. Oh dear. All right, we'll take care, Bushy. Stay safe, and yeah, I'll come back to you later. Don't worry. Right. Okay. Gonna move on. Up next is Breeze. Breeze, are you there, or are you driving through storm?
No, we've got sunny weather as always. Hi, Freedom. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
Oh, brilliant. Hold on a sec.
Sure.
There we go. Got that up. Last week I came on and I presented all the reasons why I'm not as actively busy on Steemit as I know that I should be. And this week I thought of sharing a little bit of the things that I am busy with. And this is a little project that had my hands bleeding more often than not recently. And it's a little net house that I built. Given our African sun, the plants are often like, you get a lot of water loss, they get burnt shot to shit basically. And yeah, so I put up this little net house. I had 2 workers helping me with this. And so yeah, this is one of the projects that's been keeping me away a little bit from Steemit.
Oh, okay. Sorry, is it your mic, or have you finished?
No, you can, that's basically it. I mean, the photography isn't great, but it's just a little bit more entailing on what I've been busy with, how I constructed the net house, what it helps for. The sweet corn that I planted, I had a war on worms. I won, haha. But yeah, so we'll be going into a little bit more of my projects in the near future, hopefully.
Can you just tell us a bit more about net house? What is it you're growing?
At the moment, my first crop was sweet corn, and the thing is with the soft plant vegetables, like I said, you've got the sun, you've got the insects, you've got everything. I try to grow naturally and organically as far as possible, and this was a way for me to try to do that a little bit better. without the water loss. Now, as you can see, there's no irrigation in there, so all the watering and everything is done manually. So I really hope everybody supports this post so that I can afford the piping to get that done. But yeah, that is what I'm growing there, sweet corn.
And with all that sweet corn, I'm assuming you've got quite a lot of it. What do you do with it?
Well, most of it goes for personal use, family, friend, and then the excess normally goes to local markets, etc. I do a lot of homemade preserves, things like that with it. Yeah, and like I said, the rest goes to local markets. I've got quite a few projects that I'm working on, so there's quite a lot of produce coming off. I live on the farm is reaching a point of self-sustainability, but it is mainly, I farm with mangoes and goats. So the secondary crops like this one is just, it's just a added perk.
Oh, okay. All right. And how long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been living on the farm since 1997. When did I finish school? 99? Since 99, I started farming, but it wasn't my main focus. My parents retired about a year, 2 years ago, and I since have quit my job and started helping them out on the farm. Everything has been quite neglected, and yeah, trying to get everything back up running. My aim, like I said, is to get it self-sustainable. Now I'm about, let's say, about 80% there, not completely off the grid yet, but working towards it nonetheless.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. And do you see yourself doing this for the next, I don't know, 10, 20 years?
Oh, for as long as I possibly can. Well, we have touched the subject of politics and stuff like that in South Africa recently with the last poem that I presented. So things aren't going that great. So I'm hoping for the best right now, and working towards better.
Yeah, we spoke about that before, Breeze, didn't we? And I know it's a tough situation over there. But it is nice to see, you know, that you've taken the time to do a post like this. Gives us another insight into what's going on in your life over there. So thank you for that. Nice post. Any comments or questions at all for Breeze?
This too shall pass. You know, as the honey once said in his quote contest. But still, a question for you. Have you ever considered starting a food bank or some sort of reserve?
I'm not exactly sure what you entail by that. What do you mean by food bank? We don't have a necessary, I don't do a food bank. I do a lot of work with charity organizations as well as wildlife conservation. So a lot of my produce, like for the wildlife conservation, the goat farming, should I have a death there, that would go to lion rehabilitation projects, tiger rehabilitation projects, silverback jackals, things like that. My fresh produce, the excess goes either back into the farm, or the usable parts of it goes to charity organizations that I work hand in hand with, like Horizon to Tsanang, which is a orphanage-based program. Well, that sounds bad. Not an orphanage-based program. It is a program that aids orphans in South Africa to help their families, because what happens is a lot of kids get orphaned, and instead of placing them in homes, we aid their families to better look after the kids directly. So a lot of my food excess goes directly back to them for food parcels, things like that. I've also got about 30 pigs, so whatever they can't use, the pigs do. So everything in my life happens in a cycle, in a perpetual cycle, actually, where I make the most of out of everything that I harvest, that I crop, that I plant. And everything I'm doing is physically being done by my own hands. So a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and I put back wherever I can. As for a food bank, I'm not sure what you mean by that. So I guess
virtually creating an establishment where people can come and receive excess. But instead of that, you go out and you outreach, which is good. And that's great. That's even better. So yeah, thanks for your response. I appreciate it.
Not a problem, with love. PowerPix is asking what other food I grow. Well, like I said, it's a mango farm and it's self-sustainable. So all the fruit and veg produce comes directly from the farm. I've got citrus, about like 11 varieties. I've got guavas, grenadillas, fruits and veg galore, macadamia nuts. Yeah. So, but it's a lot of work that goes into it too. And unfortunately, I'm not at the point where I can actually afford good labor. So I've got 2 people that helps me in the farm in general, and myself. And then, yeah, my parents are both not working at this stage. They are retired and have their own issues to deal with.
Okay, well, look, Breeze, thank you very much for that. Great post, guys. There it is. Get voting on it. Appreciate that, Breeze. But I've got to move on, I'm afraid. Time is of the essence. And we're now just over halfway through the show. And of course, it is that time where I have to check with Scuzzy. As you know, we've been building him up week by week. Started off with 1 word, then 2 words. Then he gave us a full sentence because he's very shy, this guy. And I really don't know where we got to with him. But anyway, I am going to check with it. Is it up for a night? I don't know. Let's see. Scuzzy, are you there?
Check.
Whoa, he is there and he's talking. Is there anything you want to say? Do you want to give us a sentence, a word? What is it?
Sure. First of all, thanks, FreedomExists. Okay, so what I'll be doing today for the Scuzzy Speaks for 15 Seconds segment is share the first story off of my mini-series of stories titled Cliffhanger. All right, so the first story is about
Oh, come on. Okay, that's more than just a tease. Jesus. Oh, dear me. All right, fair enough. That was awesome. Thank you very much for that, Scuzzy. I'm looking forward to the next part of that story. Right, I'm now going to hand back very briefly to Louis Fashav, because he's now got his song ready. So we're going to have a bit of a musical interlude, and I'm looking forward to this. Louis, are you there?
Yes, I'm right here.
Cool. What have you got for us?
This song is called Paper Thin.
Paper Thin?
Yes.
Cool.
Here we go. I don't want to remember that day back in September. Had no more hands to play, no final card cliche. You looked for new beginnings, I tried to find new meaning. The bright new shiny winds, forget it all. But I heard every word unspoken. I gave myself away, took all that I could, and then I heard every word. In silence I lost myself within, my skin was paper thin. Not many tears have fallen, not many memories remain. Too many pieces lost, so many lives uncrossed. My pride behind the fences, I reap the consequences. I try to reach outside, but still I hide. But I heard every word unspoken. I gave myself away, took all that I could, and then I heard every word. In silence, I lost myself within. My skin was paper thin.
Louis, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for that. Do you know what? I can see why someone said that caused someone to kind of well up a little bit, brought a tear to their eye. Quite a moving song, that, I would say. Louis, thank you. Really, really nice.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Everybody loved it. Really nice. It's funny, isn't it? Because it was just for a few moments there. Lovely, lovely mood. And I know there's a bit of melancholy there, but, you know, there's something in music that, I don't know, it does have a healing power, doesn't it?
It does. It absolutely does.
Awesome song. Thank you very much for that, Lou. I'm going to put the link up to your post again because I think it's an amazing song, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Guys, get voting on that. Thank you very much. That was unbelievable. Amazing. Right. Okay. I'm going to move on. And up next, it's £10 sterling.
Great. I appreciate it. So, yeah, I have a post from a contest I'm actually doing and I'm taking part in. Excuse me. One moment.
Okay, that was kind of more than one moment, but I guess he wants a few. There
we go. So, brief explanation. This song was written to pay homage to all the miners that verify, you know, the transactions on the blockchain, essentially. And it's actually a spoof, a parody of music that is popular in my country, for which reason I have no clue why. It's a genre called trap. And essentially, it's repetitive in nature. It's very hypnotic. They play it on the radio all the time, even on country stations. It's weird. But nonetheless, yeah, trap is crap. But I wanted to spoof the nonsense, the nonchalant puppetry that's going on by people having the word little before their name. So I decided to do 1 to represent ego, and then 1337, which obviously stands for elite. And yeah, the song is called Hash Will Make You Cash. And instead of bragging about how much fiat currency I have, I'm just talking about how I get that Satoshi. You know what I mean? So it's essentially supposed to be about, you know, a theme song for a competition where it's supposed to be catchy, a jingle, something that anybody can listen to without actually having to think about it. So yeah.
Are we able to hear this at all? Can you sort that out or not?
I would like to play it through. Give me one moment. I need to configure a USB connection.
All right, £10 sterling. I'll come back to you in a moment. I'm going to go on to another post, but I'll come back to you, yeah?
All right.
Unless you can fit that up immediately. How long is it going to take you?
I haven't tested it. I'm going to have to change some settings. So if you'd like to come back to me, that'd be great.
Sure, we'll do. All right. I'm going to... Dorth, is that...
Yeah.
Is this...
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah, go ahead. Play it, please. Yeah, Dor, thank you for that. £10 sterling.
All right.
I think Savo might be able to get better mic on that if you want, or audio on that. If you want that.
To be fair with you, I don't really care. Do it. So whatever happens, happens. If you want to listen to it directly through your headphones, you can, or throughout some speakers. The post is there. Feel free to click it, like it, whatever you want. I'm not really taking it seriously. And believe me when I say that, that's like 1% of my capability when it comes to engineering and vocal work. So yeah.
All right, then we'll leave it as the link there, guys. If you want to hear that properly, then click on the link and give it a listen. Awesome stuff. Thank you for that. Any comments or questions for £10 sterling? Anything you want to say lastly, Sterling?
Thanks.
You are very welcome. Oh, there is a question. What's your preferred style of music production?
My favorite has to be drum and bass. I love 174 and 160. That's where I typically sit my BPM. So yeah, very up-tempo stuff. Kind of like jump up and dance floor type tracks. That's my forte. But I make everything from future bass to dubstep to house music and glitch hop. So yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Let me just put
what was that?
That's cool. Yeah, glitch hop is. I dig that too. That's yeah, it's not pretty popular here in the Netherlands, but I like it. Where can I listen to your music?
Well, if you go to my Steam account, you can go to this post if you scroll down from like last month, and there's a VR room that has a lot of my productions in it. And the VR room, actually, I might as well post it in the chat. The VR does have YouTube embeds that you can just check out and click on them. They're televisions. And yeah, they'll play back productions that I've done like a year and a half ago. So.
Don't you have a SoundCloud? It's way more easy.
Okay, I'll do that.
Right. Gonna have to move on, guys, I'm afraid, but I'll put the link up again. There it is. Interesting post. I think I'm gonna have to check that out later and listen to it on some decent quality sound. So thank you again, though, for that £10 sterling. Good post. Right, gonna move on. Up next, it's Rico. Rico, are you there? Oh, what a surprise. Rico is not there. It's always Rico. Well, in fairness, it isn't always Rico, but he's either drunk, he's either passed out, right? Once I sent him a DM the next day saying, what happened to you? He literally just said, I passed out. It's just okay. So he's either passed out or he's playing poker. I don't know which it is. Rico, you there or not? Crystal, you're right. You could be stuck in a dumpster, actually. Okay, I'm going to move on. He's not there. He's somewhere else. Who knows? That Sweeney guy, are you there?
I am. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? All right, awesome. Makers, creatives, musicians, artists, if you make something with your hands, you're going to want to be in the Steamhouse Discord come the beginning of June. We have a live show coming. It's going to be a live post promotion, kind of like this. The whole idea, though, it's going to be completely centered around creativity and entrepreneurship, like our makerspace will be. When our makerspace opens, the production value of this live show is going to shoot through the roof. We're going to start doing live streams and throw up everybody's posts in video or form and kind of scroll through them. We're going to do really, really, really cool things. Well, leading up to that live show, we're going to be writing a curation article featuring a lot of maker content and creative stuff, art that people are doing, songs that people are writing, anything that you have made. Come and share it with us. I have set up currently 15 different post-promotion channels in that Discord. and each one is tailored to a different maker topic. So pick a topic, find a post in that same topic by somebody else, go and comment on them on their post and give them some feedback. Leave us a little intro to your post before you just drop a link in there. These channels are by no means just link drops. I'm trying to create connections between makers. Go meet some friends that are making the same kind of things that you are, and get to know some more creatives and makers in our community. Maybe find some people to collaborate with. Yeah, this is all going to be a huge lead up to a live show that we're starting in the beginning of June. So come and check this out and share what you've made with us.
Okay. So this is kind of post-promotion via subject. You know, the theme is kind of dividing it up via the subjects, yeah?
Yes. I've got tons and tons, like I said, 15 different post-promotions in there, different topics, from art to music to do-it-yourself stuff to electronics, stuff that you've made with your kids, all sorts of things. And if you don't see a category there that you think should be there, oh, I made this and it doesn't really fall into one of these categories, let me know and I'll totally add a new category in there, and let's find some more people to share some content with that category.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea, actually, because you're going to be bringing people with the same interest in the same type of subjects, perhaps with the same skills, and you're kind of bringing them together, aren't you?
That's the intent, yeah. And it's all going to be a lead up. You know, obviously a big part of this is to bring a lot of people into our community and give our makerspace a lot of attention. But this is also to create a large community that is heavily involved with our makerspace, so that when we start onboarding creatives and people from our local community, they already kind of have an audience set up for them.
Yeah, nice. And I also see that in terms of the so this is a Discord server you've got. Have you put the link up to your server or not?
I'm not sure. Give me 2 seconds and I'll throw that up there. It's definitely, there you go. Scuzzy's on it.
He certainly is.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the server.
I've done a big promotion for the server the last few days. We've doubled in size. I think I've gotten 30 or 40 people in there the last few days. And it's all for this promotion thing. I'm actually incentivizing curation of other people's content. If you find some maker content on the platform, maybe you don't make anything this week yourself, but you see someone else's post, come and share it in the right topic. Leave an intro, you know, follow the guidelines, and you will get a curation point. At the end of the month, I will tally all the curation points together, and I will be divvying, I will essentially be airdropping Steamhouse tokens to the people that are sharing other people's content into these topics. Manual curation is in such high demand right now. We really, really, really need people that are out there actively looking for incredible content and sharing it with other people.
Oh, well said indeed. Absolutely. And do you know what? That I was going to come on to that second part of the Discord post promotion that you're doing, because you say if you're there, you know, you want people, you're trying to encourage people to comment on someone else's posts, on other people's posts, aren't you? But from the same topic, or react to their message or something like that to encourage kind of interaction. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole point, the guidelines basically go, the first rule is make sure that your posts are relevant to the topic that you're posting them in. Obviously, you're not going to, why would you promote oranges to somebody that only likes apples? But yes, you have to, if there is another post by someone else in the topic that you're posting to, go and comment on their post. Give them some feedback on what they made. That's all I'm asking. I will never, ever, ever require someone to use their voting power in a way that they don't choose. I will never require people to upvote someone's post. But if we're expecting to gain support and feedback from these channels, the least we could do is go and give support and feedback to other people.
Yeah, no, that's nice. And it's great that you encourage that, definitely. Good touch that. Okay, cool. Any comments or questions for that Sweeney guy? Scuzzy's typing. I think there might be something coming. I don't know.
I have a question. Do you have a capability to drop that Discord group invite just directly into this chat? That way I can just join in from my Discord client?
Scuzzy actually dropped that. If you scroll up just a little bit, Scuzzy dropped that just a second ago.
Thanks. Yeah, I didn't realize it. Thanks.
Awesome. Scuzzy wants to know what's the situation with the physical Steam House at the moment.
We are currently in phase 1 of the crowdfund. We've sold a couple thousand tokens, but in order to open our space, our goal is $150,000. $30,000. That ensures that we are.
You dipped out there, Sweeney guy. Just say that again, can you?
Can you hear me?
Yep, cool.
All right. Basically, where we're at is phase 1 of our crowdfund. We're looking to sell $30,000 of our tokens so that we can cover the first year's lease on a space and start rolling with maker content. I've said before, even if we can cover that initial lease and make sure that we can keep the lights on, it doesn't really matter what we start the space with. We could have just a few $100s to get a few pieces of equipment. We are looking to cover the rent and utilities for the first year before we ever open the space. We want to make sure that once we open, we're not going to have to close in a month or two because we don't build our local customer base fast enough. One thing about that token sale, I just posted this the other day. I've started a buyback program. When we hit the final stage of our crowdfund, I will be buying back Steamhouse tokens to anyone that doesn't want to use them to trade for things that we make in the space. If you want to sell those tokens back to me, I will buy them for 50 cents a piece when we reach the final stage of our crowdfund. All it's going to take is this first stage, this first 150,000 tokens, and we're open for the first good year. And I promise you, when we get these doors open, they're not closing.
Savo asks, how many are you willing to buy back?
We will be devoting a portion of both our blog earnings and the profits of the physical space. We will continually put in buy orders on the market for 50 cents as much as we can afford. A whole percentage of our profits will be devoted to buying those tokens back.
Okay, well, there we go. Full update from the Sweeney guy there. Good stuff. Involved in a lot of projects, Sweeney guy. And I'm going to put the link to his latest post up again. There it is, guys. Show it some love. Get voting on it. Dude, is there anything you want to say lastly?
Yeah, I'm on the BitsharesTalk on Saturday with Fuzzy. It's going to be super fantastic promoting the Steam House. And that should be really, really, really big to move some of these tokens. And I'm hoping just another month or two will be open.
Oh, wow. Excellent. I was just about to ask, but there we go. PowerPix has put it up. The show with Fuzzy, 9 a.m. EST. Is that right? Yeah?
Yep.
Awesome. So there we go. And where is it? People might want the link to that one as well, PowerPix. Maybe you could get the link to the server for that. I assume it's the BitShares server, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm sure he can grab a link faster than I could.
Okay, awesome. Right, looking forward to that. Oh, the link's gone again. PowerPix has got the link. So if you do want to go to that show, the BitsharesTalk show with Fuzzy, you need to join that server if you're not already. And you'll see Sweeney Guy on there presenting. That'll be very interesting indeed. And I'm going to put the link to his post up one more time. Awesome, awesome stuff. Right, thank you very much for that, Sweeney Guy. Must move on. Up next, Andy N. Andy N, are you there?
Hi, can you hear me?
Bit quiet. If you could speak up, that'd be great.
All right.
Okay, have you got a post for us?
Okay. Excuse my English. That is my second language, and I'm not that fluent, so sorry for that. Well, this post is about this is a place I visit on my last trip in my last trip to Boston, Massachusetts, and it wasn't. I went to a museum, and that museum was the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, and I never thought I would be so inspired by it, but I really was, because this woman, all the things she did got me really amazed, and I found it really fascinating, because she inherited 100 $1 million from her father. She was from a well family, and what she did with the money, she travels around the world, and uh, she buys a lot of art from every artist around the world, and she keep it, and she was and she has so much art from everybody that she considered to create a museum to display uh, the all right. She started a museum to display all of the art she was keeping it, and then she opens the museum not to also to display the art, but to all the artists who wanted to go there and display their art. And I got really inspired for what she did, and I thought all the pieces, all the statues, all the paints, all of it, I got me really inspired for what to do for what I wanted to do, what I want to do with my life. I mean, like, it got me really inspired by it, because I love photography, and that's something I would like to do in the future.
Yeah, I mean, Isabella Stewart sounds like a very interesting character indeed. And she's not just interested in photography. I mean, she's interested in all sorts of art, but also art collecting. And it doesn't surprise me that she's opened a museum. I mean, I've never heard of her, but she sounds like a very interesting person. And some of her art is amazing. But how did you come to learn about her?
Well, I said that I love photography, and the first photography I saw of it, because I was like, I want to go to a museum, but what museum I would like to go, and then I saw a picture of that museum, and I was like, I want to go there. And what is the name of that museum? The Isabella Stewart Garden. And I started to search about her and her history and what she did in her life. And when I was there, I was really enchanted by all the stuff she I don't know how to say. Well, she kept it, all the art that she bought, all the artists she knew, and to see that, and it was really really wonderful.
Yeah, I can imagine. Absolutely. That museum that you went to, is that, in terms of size, are we talking big, medium, small?
Excuse me, can you repeat, please?
Yeah, is that quite a big museum there, or not?
Is that quite what? I can hear
Big
clear.
museum or not?
How what do you mean by Nick Museum?
Grande.
Big. All right. Yes, it is a big museum. It has it's like a castle. It has like 4 floors, and the last floor was the place where she lived. But you can go there, but because I mean it was like in 1920 when she dies, and they transformed that floor into administrative. But she lived there. She lived inside of the museum, and it's a really big museum. It has 3 floors.
So she lived in it, you say?
Yeah, she lived there with her husband, and yeah, it is amazing. But you can watch where she lived, because and it's been so many years that they changed everything. I mean her floor, her private floor, and it's now I read that it is now an administrative floor.
I'm just trying to work out if PowerPix, what he says, is actually true. Was this originally her house that she turned into a museum?
No, she live in she has an apartment. She had an apartment, but she has so many art that she couldn't keep it there. So I don't know how to say contract. I mean, she contract one of the best architectures and to design a museum because she wanted to display all of her art, the art that she created.
Okay, yeah, no, I get it. All right. Fascinating lady. Really, do you know the setting for her presentation of the art, the museum? Really nice, really nice. That's kind of art in itself. But yeah, very nice post. Any comments or questions for Andy N?
Are you a globetrotter?
Andy, did you hear the question?
No, I couldn't understand what he said.
I said, are you a globetrotter? Do you just travel around taking photos?
Well, when I have the chance, I love to take. I mean, I like photography, so when I got the chance to travel, I take a lot of pictures. I mean, I enjoy to see every kind of, I don't know, every kind of art. I love it.
Well, really nice post. I'm actually struck by some of the architecture of that building. As I say, I think it's artistic in itself. Beautiful, beautiful setting to display your art. But thank you for that, Andy N. Very nice post. Is there anything you want to say lastly?
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I gotta say that I'm new in this world of cryptocurrency and all of this, and I gotta say that I have to thank you of all the people involved, and because it's an overwhelming thing, but I'm learning step by step, and I'm starting to loving this, and thank you.
No, you know, absolutely. It's an amazing world. So I can understand where you're coming from there. But thank you for that. And thank you for your post. Very nice post. In answer to Black Libertarian's question, solo un poquito. So I hope that answers your question. And I am going to now move on to who was up next? I believe it was that. Where is it gone? Sorry. Savo, are you there?
Yes, hello.
Hoi.
Hoi. Ja, ik heb deze post. Nee, I have this post here, which is the post for the contest I'm doing, where people make vinyl together. And this is the second track. These are the instrumentals. You can listen to them in the list. And it's now the turn on the people to make some vocals for them.
Okay, so just tell us a bit more about this, Savo. Get a record, start making vocals. Is this a contest?
Yeah, it's a contest. And yeah, it's a contest where people should work together on music by combining their skills in production and making vocals or sing or rap. And yeah, the thing they make together is vinyl. So a hard vinyl, you know, an old school record. It will be a 12-inch with 8 tracks, and the first track is already done. And per track there's 1 month or 4 weeks to make it perfect, because I learned in the first round that 1 week was too short. So yeah, you have on one side people who can sing and are producers and mainly hanging in the music forums, and people who are singer, amateur or pro, it doesn't matter. Everybody can get the chance to really have a record with themselves on it. And that's where Get a Record contest is about. And it's also bringing people more together, because I see there is a gap between singing people and people who make music with with instruments, or it's I try to close that one.
So you're bringing Steamians together and to make a vinyl record. That's going to be the final product, a vinyl record with 8 songs on, yeah?
Yeah.
And what round of this contest are you at? And is it, are you nearing the completion of this contest?
No, so as you can see, it's a second track we are working on now, and there's 4 weeks per song, per track, which will come on the vinyl of 8 tracks. So 8 tracks, and this is round track 2.
Right. Okay. So you've got some way to go there, but it's good, I guess, that you're being thorough about this. It seems you are. I'm assuming you want some kind of professional finished product, yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is high class stuff. It's not. It takes a lot of work to get everything printed and stuff.
And in terms of the songs themselves, are they different genres or are they all in the same genre?
No, it doesn't really matter to me because, like as a producer, I used to be in a certain genre, and I like the that is variated. So every music is looked for or can win. It's all about the quality of the production, and if the voice is adding to the song, to the completion of the song, basically.
Yeah. Okay. So you want that professionalism moreover than anything else.
Yeah, it's it has to be catchy as well. People are very talented here on the platform. I know, so it shouldn't be a problem. I already got somebody who got together with the producer, and they made a very, very cool tracker. It was Divine, and you can check it out on our Steemit. But
awesome.
It's high quality. Everything is high quality.
That's good though, Savo. I'm glad you're going for that because that's important, and I'm looking forward. I mean, this is kind of going to be like the first Steemit record, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like releasing an album with Steemians who have worked together on music and competed with each other to be on that album, physical album with vinyl.
Yeah, I love it. I'm loving it. Fantastic. Okay, good. Well, keep us updated with this. Any comments or questions for Savo? And is there anything you want to say lastly, Savo?
Yeah, if you want to be on the record, then take your shot. This is your chance.
Now, I love that voice there. That's the voice of a true professional presenter. You show, Savo. I've told you this before. Although you tried that. You didn't.
Yeah, I have my show, but
yeah, you didn't like doing it, did you?
Yeah. Now it's going really well. Yeah.
You handed the reins over to who now?
No. Only this week. I had the birthday of my grandmother, so I couldn't attend. But yeah, we're now at the 9th.
Didn't you tell me you've got like somebody hosting it now? Is it Depend or something?
No. I don't want to be the main host. Actually, I want to have it balanced. And the first show I felt like I had to do it like that. So because you are with 3 people and I'm initially 2, but 3 now. So yeah, it's a fun show.
Yeah, well, this is it, Savo. But do you know what? I'm still learning about it bit by bit. I don't think you've ever come to my show with a post about your show. Maybe you should do that because I think some of us are still not fully quite getting what it's about and when it is, etc. Might help.
Yeah, I don't know how good your memory is, but I did actually.
Did you? How long ago was that?
I believe it was maybe 3 weeks ago or something. I did a recap of the show.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I wasn't paying attention. You sure I was hosting at that time? It might have been my co-host. Who knows? But maybe you should do another one. But I'm glad it's going strong. And so, who's the main presenter at the moment?
There is a structure like you have here as well, with when some people are helping out, and the main presenter is Divine. She presents the artists and their music and talks to them, and me and One Media will talk to them after the music and have a chat about the song and what some technical stuff sometimes as well. Yeah.
Nice. Well, for those of you that don't know, Savo runs a show like mine, but for music curation on the SMA server. And great idea. I'm glad that I inspired him for that. And it's presented by Divine, and Savo does a bit as well, but although Divine seems to be the main presenter. Savo, do you want to put the link up to SMA?
Yeah.
And just remind everybody when your show is.
It's on Wednesday, 7 o'clock Dutch time, UTC. I mean UTC. It's Universal Time.
Awesome. There we go. So if you want to listen to some fresh music, get on over there. Right. Okay. Good stuff, Savo. But I'm going to have to move on, I'm afraid. Please feel free to put the link up to SMA in there if you've got it. Just drop it in the chat. Right. Moving on because we're running out of time. Bushkill, are you there?
Yes, I am. First, I want to apologize for before I was helping somebody out, and a beekeeper that had some really expensive queens that he wanted to mark. So I went there after work and tried to catch the show on the way home, and then it poured and yada, yada, yada. So, and as you can tell, I'm not very adept at using my cell phone.
We were all wondering what on earth are you doing? But it was great.
I took it off of mute and it says you're set to push to talk. I'm like, what do I push?
Well, look, I'm glad you sorted it. I'm glad you made it through the storm.
Yeah. So today I got a different kind of post than what I normally do. I want to talk a little bit about Engineers Week. It's a program here in the United States, and a lot of the major companies are supporters of it, but it's basically to expose students to engineering and get them excited about the STEM, math, science and stuff. I've been I've been coordinating for a school district here for like 8 years. And I've got I got 4 or so dedicated volunteers that really help me. And then I usually have a co-op at work that I twist their arm and get them involved as well. But it's all good. So we visit the school district. There's, I think, 4 schools that we go to, and we spend a day at each school and talk about engineering with all the students and in their class, and then do a little challenging project with them. A little engineering, let them do their own little engineering. We start off talking a little bit about what we do, and we talk at their level, what's important for engineering, teamwork, having a plan. You don't have unlimited resources and time and stuff like that. So last Friday, we went to a local elementary school at about 200 students, and kindergarten, which is 5-year-old, up through 3rd graders, which would be 8 years old. A lot of the other districts and the reps, they'll only do the older kids, but for years we've been doing all the grades, and it might seem like a 5 or 6-year-old is a little young to be talking about engineering, but we bring it down to their level. And the idea is just to get them excited about it and understand that year after year after year, you drill that into them, and it amazes me every time I show up. They remember the projects we've done all the previous years and all the things that they've done. So this year, I tend to use the same projects with the younger classes because it's you want something that they can adapt to and stuff. So for the kindergartners, the 5-year-olds, we give them 2 strips of paper and a straw, drinking straw, and tell them to make a plane or a glider, and then we set up and see whose plane glides the furthest. And their first attempt is to basically use the 2 strips as a wing and rudder and tape it to the straw, and then they quickly realize that the wings have no strength to them and they just flop and falls to the ground. So we try to tell them that think outside the box. Don't think of what you think an airplane is and stuff like that. And so I have a picture there of their first go-rounds, and they're traditional-looking type planes that didn't fly very well. And then we help them out a little bit and show them, you know, like a hoop plane. You make hoops out of the paper, which gives it strength and it'll glide. And then we let them go and build a similar one and try it out, so they feel like they've successfully accomplished something. For the 6-year-olds, it's a little bit different challenge. We only give them one sheet of paper and a roll of tape and tell them to build the tallest freestanding tower they can make out of that one sheet of paper. We get a lot of them that immediately start cutting it up into pieces and then realize that, they shouldn't have done that. And most of the time I can take the paper, just crease it and fold it in half and stand it on the table and beat what they've done, because they didn't think it out. So we try to emphasize to them, you need to have a plan and stuff, because, you just can't go off and do stuff. And so I've got some pictures there of their first attempts, and then we talk about it, and then you can see.
No, carry on.
Okay. And then you can see the tower that I made was over
£10 sterling. Can you mute your mic? Sorry, Bushy. £10 sterling. Can you just mute your mic because you're interrupting the chat, or set it to push to talk? Thank you. Right, go ahead, Bushy. Sorry.
Yeah. So then we once again we let them start from scratch. Now they got some more ideas and feel like they've accomplished something as well. And then we do those two projects for those two grade levels every year. And then for the other levels, we always come up with a new project each year. I wish, last year we did a neat one. We took the motor out of a CD drive and gave them a CD and had them build a wind turbine on a CD. And we had a fan, and they'd bring it up, hook it to the CD, and we put it in front of the fan, and we see whose propeller driven would create the most voltage out of the CD drive. So that was pretty exciting. This year, we did a marble ramp, you can see a picture of the PVC where we drop the marble in the top, it comes out the bottom. They have to construct a ramp out of the limited supplies we give them to make the marble go airborne, and we've seen whose marble would go the furthest. Now we use this as the grades get higher, like high school and stuff. We will give them, $1 cost per the materials, and they got to buy the materials for that amount of money, basically to see who can balance the cost of supplies versus the outcome of the design. And, we tell them, that a lot of them, they'll buy more stuff than they really need, so they can return it for half of what they paid for it. It's a little more challenging for the older kids. And then finally, it's a great experience, very tiring. It's amazing. You go a day there and I come out totally exhausted, appreciation for the teachers. Included a picture here of the one first grade class every year. We get to them in the morning, and by the time we leave in the afternoon, we get presented with a thank you. This year it was a book. Last year it was a cutout of I don't forget what it was, but it was an interesting little thing. And I included one picture there because these are 6-year-olds, and this kid drew this picture, and he memorized whose tower was how high and the names and stuff, and we never did it like a real competition where we lined everybody up. We just saw who was looking like it was the tallest, and we said that's the one to beat. And so I couldn't name one of the kids that had one of the towers, yet he knew whose tower was which. So that was pretty interesting. And that's about it.
Okay. I think this is a really fantastic initiative, Bushy, because I went to a school that was highly academic, and something like this just would not have been on or on the curriculum, so to speak. We have what they call grammar schools over here in Britain. It's a kind of a highly academic stream within the education system, and you've got to pass a test and blah 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 to get in it. But all they pushed there really was academia. There was a bit of I don't know how you would summarize these type of skills, vocational stuff maybe, like woodwork and metalwork and CDT we used to call it. But this sort of stuff is what I think is really important and is missed in some educational institutions, because you can produce as many doctors and lawyers as you want, but we need engineers. And I think something like this really does stimulate kids' interest into this whole profession.
Yeah, and if they don't get that profession, they at least get a an appreciation for it. One of the things I like to say in a lot of the classes is like, point out something in this class that didn't have an engineer involved, and they struggle really, and the only really answers is if they have like a plant for the air, right? Everything else that they see in that classroom had some kind of engineering involvement in designing it.
Just sort of breaking up a bit there, Bushy, but I think I got the gist of it. But we've got a few questions, I think. Jamie wants to know, how long have you been doing this? How many years?
I've been doing it for about 10 years, and I've been coordinating for our district for 8.
And he also wants to know, do you ever have any of your first students coming back and sharing any interesting stories that connected to your workshop training?
Yeah, well, it's funny because I just hired I had a co-op 2 years ago, and I just hired him full-time as an electrical engineer, and he remembers, not particularly me, because he was in a sister school district, but he actually remembered coming in for us coming in for Engineers Week when he was in school, and now I'm setting him up to be my predecessor in coordinating the school that we're on now. But yeah, we do get kids coming back that I'm not necessarily saying that that's what caused them to go into engineering, but it sure reinforced where they were headed.
Oh wow, that's nice. That's a nice, I think, affirmation of your efforts in some way. I mean, okay, it may not be directly, but I think it probably had some kind of influence, no?
Yeah. Like I said, if nothing else, it might have just was the thing that pushed them over the top if they were contemplating it, and that pushed it over.
Yeah, for sure. All right, good stuff. Any comments or questions for Bushy?
I got one more point, Freedom. I tried to keep politics out of the post, but you'll appreciate this. One of the things that drives me crazy is we go to these schools now, and they're no longer called boys and girls. They're called friends.
Oh, dear me. Yeah, that's disappointing, isn't it? And I'm quite angry at the same time. But where was that?
That's all the elementary schools now, all the teachers and stuff. It's no longer, they don't refer to them, it's not boys and girls, let's sit down. It's friends, let's sit down.
Yeah, lovely. That's great news, great development in society, isn't it? Oh, well, yes, exactly, Power Picks. That creates equality, doesn't it? Oh, dear. Anyway, end it on a high, Bushy. Give us something else to end it with.
Despite that, it's still enjoyable. Are outstanding, and their enthusiasm is just, as you leave there the day. I swear I get more satisfaction. I know some of the major projects we deliver at work.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine. Kids have tons of enthusiasm, and these little initiatives you put into the training session itself, I think that's great. Really taps into kids' sense of creativity. Good all round. But awesome post. Thank you very much for that, Bushy. Going to move on. It's getting quite late, but I'm going to try fitting in a couple more. For those of you that have already presented a post, please go ahead, DM me your BitShares username. Go ahead and do that now, and I will get you some Welshares at the end of the show. So for those of you that have presented a post, please go ahead now and DM me your BitShares username. Thank you. Right, I'm going to move on. And up next, it is Black Libertario. Wow, quick.
Yeah, I'm always quick.
On it.
Well, this post, well, I'm going to tell you how I came to write this post. Basically, I was holding a conversation in my UN selection process, and there was a guy who told me that truth was relative. And well, I decided to do this post based on his comment. So as you have written or read, my post is about truth and how it has to come to mean anything nowadays for our society. So truth is basically relative according to the people who believe that truth is relative. But they base this on two concepts. The first one is post-truth, basically that feelings and emotions are more important than facts and figures. And I want to quote Ben Shapiro here. Facts doesn't care about your feelings. And the other concept is called epistemological relativism, that is basically that truth is relative and that no one has the truth about anything. The truth is not, let's say, absolute. So these concepts are so impregnated, might say, in our society that people are not realizing that they are being fooled basically by the media and the social network too. The media, because they control the information and they just let us know whatever they want to show us, and social networks, because they are controlled by a few, and some of those guys has their own interests, such as the Cambridge Analytical case, as I said in my previous post. So basically, those two are instruments that are working to promote these concepts, the post-truth and epistemological relativism. And that's why people nowadays living in a bubble. That is, of course, faith. And I want to just by remembering the Plato's cave allegory, in which we can conclude that people are not only seeing the shadows of the cave. No, that people are only seeing the shadows of the cave. Those shadows are what the media and the social networks show the population. They are just afraid or they are careless about truth. So let's say they are in a state of inactivity to go out and see the reality just as the people in the cave. And well, just to conclude or to sum up, truth cannot be relative due to several factors. What is truth is that we have different interpretations of the world, and that is what is relative. If you throw a pen, it will fall down, and that's called gravity, and that's a fact. If you see how socialism has worked, it is true to say that it hasn't never worked. So it's not that the socialists has their own truth about anything. That's just a cognitive dissonance case, and that's it.
I mean, oh gosh, Black Libertaria, you know, you always come with these posts that I could talk to you for hours and hours about, and they're great posts. They really get you thinking. And for me, because I know your politics quite well, it does chime with a lot of my politics, my political perspectives. But the truth, you know, it isn't just about the left-right divide or global versus national. There is something else going on here, and I think this post does justice to this argument, and it's a massive argument. Let's be honest. I do believe that the majority of the human experience is subjective, but I also believe that there is a significant part of the human experience that is objective and can be distinguished by hard facts. But you're absolutely right, because those hard facts that are indisputable are being twisted and manipulated, and and it's all to fit some kind of political agenda where the media are applying it as well. And it taps into this wider socio-political argument, and it is a massive debate. But it's I agree with the essence of this post so much that I've actually re-steamed it, and it's great to see posts like this trying to explore what is a difficult issue, because the truth does hurt some people, and some people can't deal with the truth, and they find other ways to get around it. And the problem with that is, on a small scale, it's not so bad. But when it becomes part of some massive global movement, that's when we've got to know. And that's just my thoughts on your post.
Yeah, basically, I did this because I have heard too much about these kind of arguments that, well, that's your truth, man. I respect what you're saying. You might be right, but I have my truth. You have your truth. No, man. You don't have truth. Is not relative. Truth is just one. One of us must have been right. No, it's not that you have your truth. It's not that you're right. No. It's just that one of us it's right, and that's it. I mean, there are certain things that are established in the universe and in the nature, and that's called truth. We cannot avoid. We cannot let it happen. Truth is not something that we have constructed. Truth is something that is, and that's it.
Yeah, well, this is it. Truth exists, doesn't it? It's not a construction, as you put it, because anything that's construction has an element of fabrication about it. So yes, I think you're right. But this is a massive debate, and as I say, you know, I could go for hours. And do you know what? The more and more I do these shows, the more I think we should maybe try fitting into the schedule some kind of political show. And I've discussed it before. Maybe we can pursue that option again at some stage, because I think most people. Have some kind of opinion. So great post. Running out of time, but any comments or questions for Black Libertarian?
Yeah, I would just like to add, you know, the whole debate aside, what also frustrates me is I run into people that are afraid to tell you the truth because they don't want to upset you, or you know, and I like tell the people that I work with, it's like, I'm a big boy. I don't have to agree with it, but I at least need to know the truth instead of beating around the bush. And I just think we're getting into this realm where it's not good to tell the truth if it might upset somebody.
Yeah, and that's Ben Shapiro is a politician. Well, he has his own, let's say, a program on YouTube, and well, I do agree with most of what he says, but he's what was the word? That he supports Israel. I mean, like, firmly, because he's a Jew guy. So, but his content is very, I might say, well, it's really great, but not when he talks about Israel, might I say.
Okay, fine. I just want to go back to what Bushy just said there, because that is a really valid point, because I meet that, what you just outlined there, Bushy, I meet that in the workplace quite a lot. And it really frustrates me. It's like, oh, we mustn't tell her that because it might upset her. And it seems to not matter that it's the truth. I mean, that's irrespective. It's all about people's feelings, and that leads us down this weird road of, well, kind of half truths and manipulations, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I find that almost insulting at times. It's like they got to sugarcoat stuff, and it's like, I'm smarter than that. I know what the deal is. Stop trying to make it sound like it's it's a great, just cut to the chase. Let's deal with it and move on.
Exactly.
That's the distortion sleep. People are filtering their thoughts to not offend each other and to seem as civilized as possible. Really, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I was just reading this morning something about Lauren Southern. She's a journalist, an independent journalist, and I heard that she was banned from the UK just because she said that Allah was gay. But I read also that there's a media there in the UK that says that God, our God, I mean the Christian God, is gay, and they weren't banned also. So who's truth? I mean, it is a huge problem, man.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, and it was Lauren. I can't remember. She wasn't banned just for that, but it was completely unfair, totally unjust, and it was shameful. And I hope she fights that somehow. I don't know what if she is, but I hope she does, because it was completely unacceptable. I was ashamed to be British. Really, it was that appalling. But there we go. I mean, that's the extent of the infiltration, really, of the British government. I'm not going to go into that now, but when someone's banned for just simply saying something that may hurt some people's feelings, sure. But, we live in a society that is supposed to respect freedom of speech and freedom of expression. And that has not been, that has not happened in her case. But Black Libertarian, awesome post. I'm going to put the link up one more time.
Can I ask Black Libertarian a question directly?
Yeah,
be quick.
So when it comes down to the whole idea of post-truth and distortion of reality and how nobody really has a finite universal truth, do you think that blockchain is a finite universal truth?
Yeah, I just stated that on my post about the blockchain and how it could revolutionize the media, and how everyone is going to be the ones that decides what's truth and what is not. Because what we are receiving nowadays from social networks and media is just their perspective, and that's why we are like in a bubble and we are just getting information from people that is just few, and they have their own agenda and interest. So I might say yes.
Okay, awesome. Going to have to leave it there, but Black Libertarian, thank you very much for that. Guys, get voting on it. Going to move on, and I'm going to try fitting in the Honeys. The Honeys, are you there? We've heard from Jamie Honey. Oh, it must be his wife, Amy Honey. Amy?
I'm here.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. I'm so sorry I couldn't meet up with you in London, but we had an election over here, and that's why I was busy with that. That's what I was telling you. I'm so sorry, and that was the week it happened. But how was London?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I had so much fun. I feel like an expert on the tubes now. I've got it all figured out.
Awesome. It's taken me years. I'm still trying to figure it out, so well done.
We actually, I wish I could present another post that I'll probably present next week, but we went on a 2-hour Jack the Ripper walking tour, and it was amazing.
Okay, awesome. What was amazing about it?
Just the history of London. I mean, it was amazing. Yeah, I am Jamie's wife.
Yeah, I'm sure they crammed in a fair bit of history.
Yeah, there's so many things, and what was cool about it was they actually walk around with a projector that's like around their neck, and so you're looking at like a building, and then they'll project on it exactly what it looked like back in the 1700s, 1800s. It was incredible.
Oh man, that sounds nice. Okay, awesome. Right, tell us about your post.
Okay, well, this is a travel hack. I started doing travel hacks. This is my third one. And on my second one, I was so excited because DTube actually upvoted it. It's the most money I've ever made on any post ever. I like doing the travel hacks, and I like doing video because I think a lot of times you can't, I don't always read as well on paper as I might on video. So that's what this post is about.
Okay, I think you started doing these a couple of weeks ago. You did one about the water, didn't you? So this is travel hack number 3, Fight the Hotel Funk. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, so I actually travel around with a little thing. I show it in the video. It's actually an ozonator, and it's literally like $40 off Amazon, and it fits right in my suitcase. And I travel with it. As soon as I get to the hotel room, and it spits over the same stuff, the same thing that do in the hotels in Vegas, oxygen basically, kind of. And it kills any bacteria, it kills any mold, it kills any smoke smell, and it is just, I love this thing.
Oh, okay. And you've avoided saying a particular brand, but it's about $40. Yeah, that doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, I don't remember the brand I have. I've got 2 of them. One is called Pure Air, but I haven't been able to find Pure Air, but there's a link to it. I don't know what the brand name is, but I have a link to it.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, put whatever you want into the chat. If you want to, I don't know, you kind of advertising for a specific brand, why not? If it works, why not say it? £10 sterling. Can you sort your mic out, please? You're interrupting the chat again. You just said it's a mute. Thank you. Right. I'll put that up again. Honeys, what else do you want to say about your post?
Well, and I noticed that Bushkill said that he uses the ozone to disinfect beehives. That is so cool. Yeah, Jamie says I make the room smell new, but he thinks it smells like a hospital, so he doesn't always like the smell, but I like it.
What kind of, does it actually give off an odor in itself then?
Well, yeah, if you've ever been to like smell like right after the rain hits, that's kind of what it smells like. So it's like kind of a fresh, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, it does put out a little bit of a smell. It just smells clean to me.
£10 sterling. I'm going to have to serve and mute you in a minute, dude. So, Honeys, that's, oh, yes, I know what you mean. The smell of rain after a storm. Oh, wow, I love that smell, though. Is it really that fresh?
Yes, and I have them in my house, I have them in my apartment, and then I travel with one. I absolutely would not live without this thing, and it's portable. It's really cool.
Awesome. I may have to invest in one of those. All right, good stuff. Any comments or questions for the Honeys?
Jay Folkman.
Well, I hope you don't stick it anywhere else. But if you need to put it up your nose, why not? Hey. Oh, there's this question. On a scale of 0 to 7.8, how excited was Jamie to see you?
Well, you know what's funny? After 13 years of marriage, you know, I was super tired when he came back, so I don't think he was as excited to see me as he could have been. You know, I was pretty grumpy after that travel.
Oh, dear me. Is he still there or is he gone? Oh, he is. Maybe we should ask how excited was Jamie to see Amy? No, I'm not going to go there.
He's right here. He was more excited. He was more excited than me.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. I think that was it. Anything you want to say lastly about your post, Amy?
Nope, that's it. Thank you so much for having me. Sorry I missed you, but I will be back, so we'll catch up another time.
Yeah, no, definitely. Absolutely. Sorry about that, but yeah, it'd be good to meet up with you at some stage. There it is, guys. Another awesome post from the Honeys. Get voting on it. Right. Don't forget, guys, those who have not DM'd me their BitShares username yet, I do need that so I can get you all some well shares. And I am, thank you. And I am going to ask JSF if he's there. He is. Bit quiet, JSF, but tell us about your post.
Do you hear me well?
Bit quiet, but if you could speak up, I think we'll hear you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. This one is supposed with my entry for the iTalent contest, which is for artists in various disciplines, like from musicians to painters. And it's an artwork from the series I've been working on for a couple of months now, exploring different ideas and making experiments using graphic elements from my visual vocabulary, but now in a digital medium. And more recently, I started playing with stereoscopic 3D effects and applied it to animations. But this one here, the first one with the blue background, is one of the first artworks I've made in this way, like in full resolution and render. And like the other image in the post, it's best to see it with 3D red and blue glasses. There are some links there where you can see previous developments and graphics made in along this process. And there are also small images with other formats where I've used these graphic elements. So yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, this is another one of your very interesting kind of three-dimensional artwork. I'm loving this. And is it right, if I do put on some 3D glasses, is it that second image in your post? Will that be three-dimensional?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the second image was going to be my entry, but decided to yesterday to make the first one, like the rendered one, because I don't know, maybe they could be mistaken for a finish or something like that. But yeah, I tried these couple of images with the glasses, and it kind of pops out. I'm still working out the settings and stuff. But yeah.
Okay, so with the other two moving images that I'm looking at, these were experiments that you were working on. It was part of your visual exploration series. But was there any theme to this at all?
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of those moving image sequences towards the bottom of the post, your visual exploration series. Was there a theme to this?
No, not like a subject or particular theme, more than experimenting in new mediums with. I've been using these graphic elements in canvases and paintings and installations, but now the idea was to try them out in digitally and see what ideas would came up with to be used again back in my paintings, but develop these ones, and I've been going through this stuff right.
Okay, awesome, good stuff. Thank you for that. Any comments or questions at all from anyone? And anything you want to say lastly, JSF?
Well, yeah, thank you guys for the kind feedback, and yeah, thank you all.
You're very welcome. Very welcome indeed. Right, going to fit in one more. Jay Folkman. Jay Folkman, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. How are you?
Very good, very good. Bit of a different post tonight. A different post tonight.
Yeah, tell us about it.
So once a week for the last 15 weeks, the Minnow Support Project has been kind enough to support me in doing photography curation. I go through, I try to do it Tuesday morning, but sometimes Tuesday or Monday night, I'll do my final curation. And the aim is to pull up minnows that are into photography or who have taken pictures that I think deserve a bit of recognition and maybe they haven't been. I try to support those that kind of keep plugging away at it as much as humanly possible when, you know, Steam is a big place and get the rewards about me, but I love to the minnows inside those posts.
So what's the criteria for this contest then?
It's less a contest and more looking to pull out photographers that maybe don't get noticed, or it's a bit tough to break in sometimes in terms of the photography community, and I'd just like to highlight. We like to highlight people that I think we think are deserving, and they get a little bit of a bump from the Minnow Support Project, and they're kind enough to let me do that for them. And so basically, if it tickles my fancy and I like the photo, that's how it gets going.
Yeah, it's kind of a curation support initiative. It's nice. I like it. And so you'll choose 5. Is it from like a hashtag, a tag that's used?
I've recently just started using a hashtag, so it's hashtag MSP photo. It's listed in the post. So please, anybody here who takes pictures that you think you haven't been recognized, please do the hashtag. I'd ask that you consider the quality of the photos before you put them, and you can go back through all the posts and you can see kind of the level of things that that I'm looking for, and the things that we're trying to push on the platform. Or at very minimum, every Tuesday morning, if you're willing, go and give some minnows some support. It's I think it's a good project, and it's a good way, I think, to bring people a bit of love for the platform and keep them going, because it's often photographers come on here, they drop a couple of images, they don't see any love, and then they disappear. And we'd like to see a bigger community develop.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just looking at the photos themselves for a moment, Jay Folkman, I'm absolutely loving the architectural design and color of those houses, those terraced houses. I think it's in photo number 4 or 5. Where is that? It says some Newcastle architecture. That's not Newcastle, Britain, though, is it?
No, I don't believe it is. I had to second guess that one too. I used to live in the UK, so but I think it's Newcastle.
It says Newcastle, Australia.
It's Oz.
Oh, that's nice. Because there's something far too colourful and exotic about those houses for it to be Britain. That's for sure.
Not brick.
Yeah, and it's not grey or red brick. So yeah, no, there's something very, very nice and un-British about those houses. Doesn't surprise me that it's Australia, if it is. But where does it say that? Does it say that?
It probably doesn't in my post, but it probably does in his in the post that it came with.
Oh, sorry. Yes, colours, shadows, and contrast by Harry Newman. Yeah, okay, excellent. Very nice indeed. It's good. I like support projects based around photography, because there's tons and tons of photography to look at out there, but only some of it is really amazing. It's nice when people who are professionals select really decent photography. So I'm glad you're doing this, and you're doing this every week now, are you?
Yeah, I've been doing it for like 15 weeks. You can go back and look basically every Tuesday for the last 15 weeks. There's a post that looks exactly like this one. It has a big red block in the middle, so it's impossible to miss. There's lots, I try to not highlight the same people twice. Try to. This week I happen to. But they're all good people to add to your feed. And if you're looking for a bit of color or a bit of differentiation in your post feeds from crypto things, this is a good way to pull up some new people.
Awesome. There we go. Fantastic. Nice post to end on. Thank you very much for that, Jay Folkman. And that does bring us to the end of the show. But thank you to everybody who participated, and thank you to those who presented a post. Don't forget, DM me your BitShares username if you did present a post. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Sorry to those who didn't get in, but we have run out of time. Just to say again, there's the link to the EasyDex Discord server if you want to get your free 5 EasyDex tokens. Get on in there and have a look around. And don't forget to check out the EasyDex platform. And I think I just want to say thank you to Walrus, who came in tonight to tell us more about EasyDex. Thank you for that, Walrus. And I think that wraps up the show. So until the next show, which is, Sunday. We're Thursday today. So next show is Sunday. Until then, guys, have a great week and see you then.